Hi there. So now we're going to continue with another tutorial of TailwindTrainer. Today, we're going to be learning about Flexbox classes in Tailwind. So as you can see here, I have a text tag and I added some classes that you should know by now. So let's get started. So I'm going to create a div and I'm going to write three more divs inside this parent div. So I'm going to copy this 3 times. And I'm gonna add some classes. Hold on, I should do it like this. Things faster. So let's just go box. There's gonna be a box number one. I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna just change the number right here. And I'm gonna also add some classes. And for example, I'm gonna add it a size of 20, a background of red, 500. There they are. And maybe let's change the text color to text white. That's it. I'm going to change the color of those three boxes as well, just to see something more beautiful. Sky, and this one, let's change it to lime. Tailwind offers a lot of different colors. I mean, different to the classic ones, yellow, blue, red. I invite you to go to the official documentation and read more about colors. They have indigo, they have slate, they have a lot of fancy colors as well. So don't forget to check them out. Good. So as you can see, here I have a div, a parent div, and I have three children div. They have the same classes except for the color. So when you want to add flex in Tailwind, if you want to add display flex, we just go and write flex, and that's it. So as you can see, as soon as you add flex, that's the position that it's going to have. So look again, as soon as I add flex, now my boxes are going to be one next to each other. Ta-da! Okay, because this is the normal direction of the objects, which is flex row. If you want to keep them like they were before, we should go with flex column. All right. Flex call. I'm sorry. I think it's flex call. That's it. Yeah. No, it's not flex column, but just flex call. All right. So let me repeat that again. If you want to add flex, display flex, just write flex, because this is going to have by default the property flex row. Okay. So if you want this to be like the way they were before, so you just write flex column, just like that. All right. There you go. Pretty good. So let's continue with flex. So imagine you want to change the position of these boxes. So as you know, in CSS, we have justify content center, justify content end, justify content space between, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to show you how those work in Tailwind. So let's start with justify and then slash. I'm sorry, it's not slash, it's dash and then center. And now your boxes are in the center. Justify end, and they go to the end. Justify start, and they will be in the start. Okay, I think which that is by default. So, but we also have some other properties. For example, space between. You see, so it's gonna send two boxes to one side, and then the one in the middle. That's what it's gonna do. We also have justify around, which is going to place like the boxes, but it's going to add, let's say, a padding at the beginning and a padding at the end. And we also have space evenly, which is going to divide the space evenly. So here we will fit another box, here we will fit another box, and like so. You might be familiar with those classes in CSS, so I'm not gonna take long explaining. So remember, we have justify. It's not necessary to write justify content. We just write justified end, justified center, justified between, and so on and so forth. Okay, pretty good, perfect. So another property that might come in handy is the um, gap property. So as you know, the gap property is going to add some space between the objects inside the Flexbox container. So if we add, for example, gap 2, as you can see, they are separated a little bit. We can also add a gap of 10 and so on, okay? We can also be more specific. For example, if we want to say like, I want them to have a gap uh, on the y axis. So in this case, since we only have one axis, we don't have two x's here. So you're not gonna notice it, but it will be there if we add more boxes. In this case, we also can add a gap of for the x-axis. All right. So as you can see, now we have a gap of 10. So this is also something very common that you're going to use when you are using Flexbox. So it's important that you know it. All right, very good. So same as we have justified content, we also have align items. In Tailwind, it's very easy. We just go with items, items, and then we go, for example, center. So, but what's the problem here? As you can see, my boxes are aligned in the center, but they are in the same place. And that's because my parent div doesn't have a pre-established height. So if I change it, for example, to hide screen, as soon as I add that, you can see that now my boxes changed and they moved to the center of the screen. All right, good. So don't forget to set a height for your parent div. Otherwise, that's not gonna work. It doesn't have to be screen. You can add anything, say 80, okay? And that's gonna work as well. Because if we add a border, you're gonna see it. It's in the middle. You see that border? I'm gonna keep the border so you can see it. Let's change it border and then border red 500. There it is. So as you can see, it's in the middle of the parent container. Pretty good. So we also have items start, which is the one we have by default. And of course, we have items end. So with these properties, you can move those three boxes wherever you want. Say you want them to be on the lower right bottom. So that would be something like justify end, and then we add a justify end. And voila, there it is. It's at the very end of the Y and X axis. All right, I think that's it for the Flexbox. As you can see, it's not very complicated. Let's just put those both boxes in the middle of the container. That is the nightmare for people who work with backend. So let's do that example. So this would be item center, and we go justify center. And that's it. It's not so hard, is it? So I don't know why people in the backend just struggle so much to put those things in the middle, but that they are. So I hope this lesson is enough for you to complete the exercises here with all the Tailwind trainer exercises that we have for you. Bye bye. See you next time.